The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of lavender and gold. In the quiet village of Whispering Hollow, the first stars began to twinkle, their light dancing on the surface of the nearby lake. Jack sat on his windowsill, his small fingers tracing patterns on the glass. He watched as the wind rustled through the trees, carrying with it the scent of pine and adventure. Something felt different tonight, as if the very air was charged with possibility. "Jack!" His mother's voice floated up from downstairs. "Time for bed, sweetheart." But Jack couldn't sleep. Not tonight. He slipped on his shoes and tiptoed down the creaky stairs, pausing only to grab his favorite red scarf from the coat rack. The front door opened with a soft click, and he was out in the cool night air. The village square was deserted, save for a few flickering lanterns that cast long shadows across the cobblestones. Jack wrapped his scarf tightly around his neck, feeling its familiar warmth. As he stood there, unsure of what had drawn him outside, a gentle breeze caressed his cheek. It whispered his name. Jack's eyes widened in wonder. He turned slowly, following the sound, and gasped as he saw the wind take shape before him. It swirled and danced, forming the outline of a shimmering door. "Hello, Jack," the wind seemed to say, its voice like the rustle of leaves. "Would you like to learn a secret?" Jack nodded, too awestruck to speak. "Listen closely," the wind continued. "If you trust me, I can teach you to ride the currents of the air. You'll be able to travel anywhere in the blink of an eye." Jack's heart raced with excitement. "Really?" he whispered. "How?" The wind chuckled, a sound like distant chimes. "Close your eyes and feel the rhythm of the breeze. Let it lift you, carry you. Believe, and it will happen." Jack squeezed his eyes shut, focusing on the gentle push and pull of the air around him. He felt lighter, as if gravity was loosening its hold. When he opened his eyes again, he gasped. His feet were no longer touching the ground. "That's it," the wind encouraged. "Now think of a place you'd like to go." Jack thought of the old lighthouse on the cliff, a place he'd always wanted to explore. In an instant, the world blurred around him. When everything came back into focus, he found himself standing at the base of the towering structure, waves crashing against the rocks below. "I did it," Jack laughed, his voice carried away by the sea breeze. For the rest of the night, Jack soared through the sky, visiting far-off mountains and diving through fluffy clouds. He raced alongside birds and danced with the northern lights. The wind was his guide, teaching him how to navigate the invisible currents that crisscrossed the world. As the first light of dawn began to paint the eastern sky, the wind gently deposited Jack back in the village square. His hair was tousled, his cheeks flushed with excitement, and his eyes sparkled with the magic of his adventure. "Remember," the wind whispered as it began to fade, "this gift is yours now. Use it wisely, and always listen for my call." Jack nodded solemnly, clutching his scarf. He knew that his ordinary life had just become extraordinary, filled with the promise of countless adventures to come. As he crept back into his house and climbed into bed, Jack could hear the wind singing softly outside his window. It was a lullaby of faraway places and endless possibilities, a melody that would stay with him always. And just before he drifted off to sleep, Jack smiled, knowing that tomorrow night, and every night after, the whistling wind would be waiting to carry him off on another magical journey.